So Kevin Durant in this article talks about a lot, but what my guy Brizzy I think is referring to, he says, look at our starting lineup: Edmund Sumner, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Nick Claxton, and me. It's not disrespect, but what are you expecting from that group? Durant asks of BR. You expect us to win because I'm out there. So if you're watching from that lens, you're expecting us to play well because number 7 is out there. I'm really having a good time. I wish y'all could hear me talk during the game. If I got mic'd up more, people would stop asking me if I'm happy or not. I'm enjoying every moment I get to step on this fucking court, and part of it is because I tore my Achilles in the pandemic. I didn't know if we were going to play again. I didn't know if I was going to play again. I was just like, this can't be it for me. I have to really enjoy every single moment I'm out there. That's part of being a pro. I have to be coachable. I have to knock down shots. I have to be aggressive, and I have to talk to my teammates the right way. That's the journey in the battle. So for me, what Kevin Durant is saying, and Haynes kind of sets the tone right here. In year 16, Durant says he takes pride in remaining a top-level player and wants to set an example of how a player can maximize situations that may not be ideal. He said the Nets don't measure up with the best in the league on paper, but he hopes to instill confidence into his teammates that they have a legitimate chance against anyone. So all he's saying is, look, we don't have the best team. Look at the fucking lineup. It's not rocket science. If we just being honest, you're not expecting Edmund Sumner, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, and Nick Claxton with Kevin Durant to win fucking 60 games. Let's just say it. It's the same thing, Greg. When Greg Popovich went to the preseason podium and he said, "Hey, don't bet on us in Vegas," everybody laughed. It was oh, I love Greg Popovich. He's so honest. That guy he just keeps it so real. You gotta love Pop. Kevin Durant comes out and says the same exact thing about his team, and now it's like, oh my gosh, how could he throw his team under the bus like that? I have no problem with coaches, players, execs, what the fuck ever, when they're honest. If I wanted players and coaches to say what I thought they should say, I would not need them to ever be interviewed. I could just think of what I would say. This is why we want candid interviews, because we want players to answer questions honestly and truthfully. I don't think anything Kevin Durant said is surprising. I don't look at the Nets lineup when they roll this out and think this team is going to the championship. So what's the point of him lying to me? You know what I hate? I'm actually the opposite. I hate when players get up on air in an interview and they say what they think we want them to say. Man, how was the game out there? I mean, we just try to go out there and play hard, execute the game plan, and win. I don't want to hear that shit. That 2K ass answer. You just press X. You feel me, D? I like when a nigga get out there and say, man, the game was tough. Like when Kevin Durant played with the Mavericks. Yeah, man, you see, the whole fucking defense was channeled on me. And then you had fucking, what's the guy? Theo Pinson talking shit to me. How can Theo Pinson talk shit to me when their entire defense is 5 against 1 trying to stop me from doing what they do? I love when Kevin Durant also said against the Mavericks, all we wanted to do was make anybody else on the Mavericks dribble because we don't think they can dribble. The offense is Luka, and none of you other motherfuckers can dribble. I want more of that. I don't want, like, so it's like I don't understand when the media and fans are mad when we get the honest truth. I don't want robots. That's one of my things with, like, LeBron. I love LeBron. I'm a big LeBron fan, but I feel like a lot of LeBron interviews post-game, he just try to say the right thing, which is cool. That he can do that. But I love when we get some honesty.
LeBron's very politically correct.
Yes, he is. And I understand it. I'm not knocking him. But I love the other side of it. I love when we get up there and we say the right thing. And again, I'm not telling nobody to throw anybody under the bus. I'm not saying Kevin Durant should go out there and say, man, Royce O'Neal missed 2 threes. If he made them, we win. He's not doing that. But he's just saying what we all know and think. No team with Edmund Sumner. Huh?
He just said we don't have a championship roster right now.
It's all. And I think all of us are saying the same exact thing. I don't think any of us look at Edmund Sumner and Joe Harris and be like, championship lineup. Championship lineup. And again, also, by the way, for anybody that disagree with me, let me see. Read some of the comments. Gritty, Liam, seem like y'all disagreeing. I have no problem with y'all disagreeing, by the way. I don't want anybody to feel different than I do and think what I'm saying is to make you think you have to think the way I do. You are totally in the right to not agree with this quote, with Pop's quote, or anybody being honest in interviews. I'm just giving why I think it's right and why I agree with it and why I think the media is weird when they react. Fans can react however they want to react, but the media, our job is to sometimes talk to these guys and interview them and dissect what they say. So if that's our job, I want the truth. I would do not want to do a 2-hour podcast about what players are saying and quotes and we talking about what this guy said and what he said if it don't mean nothing, if it's just a lie. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad Through the Wire isn't an interview-based podcast. Because what's the point of giving what's the point of every week we're trying to get a player on a podcast and 70 to 80 or 90% of them are just going to say the political correct thing? How many guys are actually going to come and say the God honest truth on how they feel, what they saw on the floor, and what they felt? They're not, because the media and the fans have conditioned players to say what they think we want to hear. That's bullshit to me. As long as you're not throwing somebody under the bus, I'm fine with it. If I don't want, and Kevin Durant would never do that. But when Kevin Durant missed that free throw against Dallas, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Durant talked about himself. Like, oh, I'm mad I fucking missed that free throw. Real shit. Not expecting KD to go out there and be like, well, man, I did my fucking part. No, that's different. That's different. When Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers was doing that with Ben, y'all know I was saying that shit was bogus. But ain't nothing wrong, because that's what they do in the locker room. And if anybody in this chat has ever been on a team, you know how they go. Yeah, we not finna go out in the classroom and be like, man, well, maybe at high school because it's a little bit more immature, but I would never go on the camera and be like, man, we ain't have our best show because Derek forgot his line. No. Why the fuck would I do that? But in the backstage, we gonna get on each other's ass. P, come on, man. Or live show we had, I had a brain fart and forgot to say the ad. And I tossed it to Derek. Derek came through for me. I told Derek, hey, I told him publicly on the podcast, I think the next one, and I told him, good shit. Like, thank you. You have my back. It's the same thing when somebody fuck up, though. The best teams have accountability. And I don't, and the main thing in this quote to me, though, was him just saying, hey, I'm enjoying it because it's a new challenge. They're going to take this part and just say he's down to his teammates. But the overall quote is for him to say, listen, man, I'm on the court. I'm finding enjoyment with being on a team that isn't necessarily a championship driven. Everybody is making it championship. The Nets are they're not reaching expectations, so Kevin Durant has to be pissed. Everybody's trying to constantly make it seem like Kevin Durant is just miserable. No, motherfuckers, I requested a trade because I wanted to get better. If you scroll up into the full article, Kevin Durant says, look, I like good practices. I like good preparation. I like good energy, and we've been showing that, to be honest. My fault. That's the wrong part of the quote. We got to go up some more. Here it is. It wasn't difficult at all to request a trade because it was all about ball. I went to them and I was like, yo, I don't like how we are preparing. I don't like shoot-arounds. I like practices. I need more. I want to work on more shit. Hold me accountable. Get on my ass and film if that's going to help you get on everybody else's head. I want to do more closeouts. I want to work on more shell drills at practice. Basketball players, y'all know what shell drills are. This is real practice. It's not a shoot-around. So he's saying, hey, last year, all we was doing was fucking shoot-arounds. We wasn't doing practices. I wasn't being held accountable, so nobody was going to be held accountable. I want to work on shit like closeouts because I'm that great where I look at details of the game as Kevin Durant and I say, hey, y'all looking at me having 40. I'm looking at me like, man, that closeout was terrible. How did I get blew by like that? How the fuck did Jeremy Grant blow by me like that? This was the type of shit I was coming at them with. I wasn't like, yo, y'all need to make sure everybody around me can make my life easier. Hell no. I want to make everybody else's life easier. Ask Steve Nash. You can go call him right now. I would say, yo, I need more closeout drills. We need to practice more. That's what I was on. I wasn't feeling that, and nobody was on the same vibe with me. Jock Vaughn is. I had some complaints in the summer, and my complaints were not just about me. It was about how we are moving as a unit. I want us to be respected out here in the basketball world. I don't want players to look at us and say, oh, man, them motherfuckers are full of shit. That's not the type of team I want to be on. So when we all playing like shit, you know the one person they going to look at? Me. That's why I requested a trade. He didn't say me. I'm adding me. I just like good practices. I like good preparation. I like good energy, and we've been showing that, to be honest. Coaches have been doing a great job regardless of this loss tonight, which is when they got their ass kicked by the Kings. And last game, I think we've been prepping ourselves well. Guys want to win. We're out there playing as hard as we can. That's really what I need. That's what I said last summer. I didn't feel like we had those things last year, like good preparation, great energy to start, real team chemistry, and I feel like we're building that right now. We got some guys in and out of the lineup, but I think guys have been figuring out their roles within that, and it's been fun regardless of games like tonight. Boom. How can I be mad at that? I love this because it shows all the young hoopers why Kevin Durant is great. This nigga wanted to be in practice doing a shell drill. I feel stupid. I used to be in high school as a junior, sophomore, whatever, and I used to be like, man, why the fuck am I doing a shell drill? But if I had an article like this or an interview like this that as a sophomore I could have read and realized exactly how locked in the great players are on the minor details, I would have took that and ran with it. I would have came back the next day ready for the next practice. Like, okay, this is why Kevin Durant is great. It's because of the intricate details. It's not about 30 points. That's the shit that everybody looks at. It's like, whatever. Nigga, I need to close out better. How do I process a double team? How do I process a triple team? That's why these motherfuckers are great. Is because in real time, Kevin Durant is seeing every type of defensive coverage, and he's adjusting in real time. That is so hard to do. To get in your bag, imagine, even in a fucking, just imagine yourself at a Lifetime Fitness, Export, LA Fitness, whatever you hoop at the park. Imagine you in your bag. Y'all doing runs, 5v5. You going to 12, or you're going to 15, and you got 7 points out the gate. The first 10 points your team got, you got 7 of them. And now all of a sudden, the opposite team is defending you different. A lot of us, normal people, we probably ending the game with 7 points. If all of a sudden they starting to double team you, you're probably not scoring again, if we just being honest. You're probably not. But him, LeBron's, Steph's, they see that shit in real time with no preparation, and they adjust in the midst of it. They go from like, oh, shit. So the average players, or the players that we look at and we like, man, he's good, but he ain't hit that next level. Those are the guys who they get a nice first half. They have 17 in the first half, and they end the game with 19. And you like, how the fuck did that happen? They couldn't make adjustments. So you know what they got to do? They got to go and rewatch the film. They got to practice that shit. They got to wait till the summer to add that shit into their game. So this is how I react when I see a double team. They not ready for that. These niggas do this shit every fucking day. Yes, Luka. Luka's also in there. Niggas is like, oh, shit. I just had 10 first quarter points. Now they're zoning me. Now this is Steph Curry. It's a box and one. They blitzing a double now. They hard hedging. They switching everything. Like all of these defensive coverages, and we still got certain players who are great enough to be like, nah, I'm going to still get 30. I'm going to still get 30. To me, that's greatness. That's greatness.